somehow. Okay. Hello, everybody. 同学们好. This is Yang Family Tai Chi, traditional form, long form. And we're in section 1. And today's move is going to be single whip, which is one of the more complicated moves. And what I'd like to do is do a quick warm up, do a little bit of standing, and then we'll review by doing the form up to where we left off, which is at push. Okay? So if you have your feet shoulders width apart, and we're going to go from the head down to your feet. So your head, let's try nodding first. So down, up, down, up, down, up, and then left and right. One side and then the other. Try to turn as much as it is comfortable for you. And now shoulders. So I'd like you to move forward, up, and back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. And then the other way. Back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. And then I'd like you to loosen up your middle body. So bend your knees just a little bit so it stabilizes your hips. And just swing your arms. I want just to move the upper body so that you loosen up your waist.
Stop.
And next, I'd like to work on your feet and I'd like you to work on your feet and your hips. So hips first. So I want you to move one foot to the corner, put all your weight on it, move the other foot forward, and we're going to do heel, ball, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel, ball. And the other side, heel, ball, heel, ball, heel, ball. And now we're going to go to the other side and we're going to do big toe and little toe. So big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe. Other side, big toe, little toe.
Go.
Big toe, little toe. Big toe, little toe. Big toe,
Go.
little toe. Now I'd like you to hold on to something if you are not stable and do hip circles. Okay, so if you have a chair, hold on to a chair and then make circles with your hips. And then on the other side, Okay. Now let's just do 2 minutes of standing. And the purpose of standing, I want you to think of alignment, breathing, and strengthening your legs. Okay? So stand shoulders width apart or a little wider if you'd like. And sink a little bit. Think about raising your head, making the circle with your arms. And we'll start our 2 minutes. So you want to stretch out your spine. So keep the head up and your tailbone down. You want to think about your energy going both up and down and from your spine out to your fingertips. So in any case, your energy originates in your feet. So it's from your feet, through your legs, directed by your waist, and out your fingertips. So think about stretching and connecting. Okay, you want both. Okay, your first minute is up. So the important thing is to maintain your structure. This is your reference shape. So if you get stuck somewhere in the form, you can always go back to this shape so that you know where you should be. And the important things are shoulders down, elbows down, chest sunken, back rounded. And those things will prevent you from being stiff. Okay? So softness is the key this month. Okay. And our 2 minutes are up. Relax. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do the first section up to push, which is where we left off last week. Okay? And while we're doing this, I'd like you to think of what questions you might have. Like if you get to some move and you want to ask a question, hold it, and then we'll work on it right after we finish. Okay? So here you are, shoulders width apart, head up, tailbone down, hands by your sides, prepare. Opening, rotate your arms so the palms face back. Lift up to shoulder level and then press down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right. Step and close, shift weight, turn and separate. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left toe to the corner, pull left, ward off down right, pull in the right foot, step and close, shift weight and separate. Roll back, rotate your arms as you reach out to the corner. Turn your waist as your weight shifts back to the back foot. Press, pull in the right, attach the left, expand forward. Push, square up your shoulders, flatten your hands. Come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, push up to shoulder level. How was that?
Yes, good.
Okay, Are there any questions on any move up to that point?
No.
Okay. The next move is like as complicated as all the prior moves for most beginners to learn. But I will show you what it looks like first in the direction you would be doing it. Okay, so at the end of push, you would be here.
Yes.
Right? Single whip looks like this. Flatten hands, turn and pull, press down, hook hand, standing ward off, deflect and strike. Okay?
Yes.
So let's break it down into footwork first, and then we'll add the hands. Okay?
Yes.
So the footwork is difficult because it requires flexibility. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll do it in the direction that you'll be doing it, and then I'll turn around. Because sometimes you learn better if you see things from different angles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So in the direction you would be doing it, you have a bow stance, your shoulder width apart. You have the right foot going this way and the left foot 45 degrees off. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to shift weight to the left. Then you're going to turn on the heel of the front foot so that it's at that corner.
Okay.
Then you're going to shift back, release the front foot, go in, and then make a bow stance to that side.
Ooh.
So you're making a bow stance from that side, turning 180 degrees and making another bow stance to the other side.
Okay.
So the part that most people have trouble with, I'll do it one more time this way.
Yes.
Okay, if I'm at push, okay, I'm a bow stance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my weight here so that I can pivot on this heel.
Okay.
To that corner.
Yeah, to that.
Then I'm going to push all my weight to the back, release, then pull in, step out to a bow stance to that side. Okay?
Yes.
So in principle, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, sure.
The thing is, the difficulty arises for people who are not able to make the 135-degree turn with the right foot. Okay, so you're here and you want to turn this foot. Here's 90 degrees. Here's 135 degrees. Okay, so it requires a certain amount of hip flexibility in order to do that. This is why I have you do all those hip exercises. Okay, so for those people who have trouble doing this, we have accommodations to help you do this until you can do it the right way. But if not, you can just do it this way. So here are the various ways you can try.
All right.
Okay. So if you're at bow stance and you put all your weight on the left,
yeah,
and you turn, and you turn, but you can't make it all the way over there. You can only make it over to 90 degrees. Okay. What Master Yang suggests is you get on the balls of your foot and make the rest of the way.
The ball of your right foot or both balls?
Of both feet. Okay. And the reason why he says both feet is this. in the way that he would prefer you do it, you're at bow stance.
Yeah.
You shift your weight back.
Yes.
You turn this 135
Yeah.
degrees, and then you release this foot, right?
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, essentially you turn the left foot sooner, okay? Instead of waiting for this foot to have finished turning and then turn this foot, the accommodation is you get here as far as you can go and then turn them both at once.
Oh, okay.
And then you're at the position you would have been if you had done it the other way. It's just that it's slightly in different order. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then you can pull in this and step out to your bow stance. The reason he likes this, which is the same reason I like it, is I like it when you step out from a bow stance from a planted foot that's 45 degrees. In other words, if I were here and I come back and I turn and I come here, my foot here is at 45 degrees before I step out. So I have a good plant foot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other way that people do it is this. If you come around and you can't make it beyond 90 degrees, the other way you can do it is to shift your weight back, make your bow stance, and then turn this in. And there are some people who like that better. I prefer not. And the reason is that if my foot is here at 90 degrees, if I started here and I turn and all I could get to is 90 degrees, and I come out here, I find this a very difficult step out.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't feel as stable as when my foot is here.
Yes.
At 45 degrees.
Yes.
Because I feel stable here, stepping out from here. I mean, yes, you can do this, but you know, in terms of, I like to feel stable the whole time if I can. And that's the idea. Okay. Now there's another way that you can do it if you don't like turning on the balls of both feet. So remember when I told you that if you could go here and you can't make it all the way, you can turn on the balls with both feet and then step out? Well, for people who don't like to be on the balls of both feet, here is another option. If I put all my weight on the back, I'm here, I can't get any further. What you can do is just move your heel up, then pull in.
Just move your heel out.
So you're here and you're here. Instead of doing this, you keep this foot here. You're at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Then you just move your heel out
45
45 degrees.
Okay.
But that way you have the stability of this foot.
I like that.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Your whole foot is on the ground. And then you turn just like you would in the correct way and move out. So I'm giving you all these options because for different people, different things feel better. So you kind of have to play around a little bit. Anyway, are there any questions? Or is this just too weird? Thoughts? what do you like, by the way? How many people can make it all the way to 135 degrees? Just out of curiosity.
I'm not sure I can do that.
Okay. So the accommodations do make sense for you. Almost
Yes.
everybody can make 90 degrees, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say you make it 90 degrees. Okay. And if you do it Master Yang's way, you turn up both the balls of your feet, come in at step out. If you are able to step out, there are some people who like just stepping out and then adjusting afterwards. And then there's the in-between thing where instead of turning both feet, you're here, you just pick up the heel of one foot
Mhm.
and then pick up. So, you know, but there are a lot of people who prefer to have a foot planted, like well planted, and then while you're moving the other foot. They don't feel as stable moving on the balls of both feet, but it depends, you know. Okay, so you want to try that?
Yes.
So I'm going to go back in the direction you would be going. So you're at bow stance over here. Okay, then if you were going to do it the correct, in quotes, way, then you would move all your weight to the left, pick up, pivot on the heel of the right, move your weight back, pull in, step out, bow stance. How does that feel?
Good.
Let's do it a few more times, okay? Just to consolidate things. And if you want to try a few, you can try a few, okay? So, bow stance, shift back, pivot on the heel of the right, shift back, release the front foot, pull in, step out, and bow stance. So I'll do each of the variants one at a time. So that was the way you're supposed to do it. Here's the way you can do it. If your bow stance, you come back, you can only make it to 12 o'clock, 90 degrees. Okay, what you can do is you can pivot on both feet, then pull in, step out, bow stance. The other one is kind of an amalgam, which is you're at bow stance, you shift back, you can only make it to 12 o'clock. So then you shift. So from here, you pivot on the heel of your foot. Now you pivot on the ball of your foot. You make it to 45 degrees. You come back and then bow stance. And the final way is you're at bow stance. You shift back. You turn on the heel. You're at 12 o'clock. Then you shift all your weight to the front, release the left foot, step out, and then as you come forward, you pull in the back foot. So at the end, you're at a bow stance in every case. Okay? Now let's look at the arms. I'm going to do it first in the direction you would be doing it. And then I'm going to turn around so that you can see what the hands look like. Okay. So the first thing we do is you are at push.
Yes.
So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to extend your arms and flatten your hands. Then you're going to pull all the way around. Then when you get to the end, you release the front foot. Then you press down. Come up. And that's what it looks like. So let's just do a little bit of each at a time.
Yes.
So when you're here at push,
Yes.
the first thing you're going to do is you're going to move your weight back. And as you do that, you extend your hands and flatten your arms.
Okay.
Then, in coordination with turning your right toe, you're going to pull. So you're going to feel like you're pulling somebody's arm and following. It's as if you were pulling somebody's arm and following with your other hand on their shoulder. Can you imagine?
Okay.
So, okay, so it should have that feeling.
Yes.
Okay. So when you're here, you flatten. And then your right hand is going to start moving and making the 135-degree angle. And as it goes, you're going to turn. Then when you get to the end, what's going to happen is you're going to move your weight back and release the front foot. So move back, release the front foot. And then you're starting to press down. Then you're going to move your hands over to the other side. So what happens is that after you've done this pulling, and then you've done this pressing down, what you're going to do with the left hand is you're going to make what's a ward-off shape.
Oh.
Okay, remember when you did ward-off? That's
Yes.
the shape hand you want.
Okay.
And while you're doing that with your left hand, what you're doing with your right hand is you're going to come out almost straight and make a hook hand. And this is what a hook hand looks like. So when your hand comes out, you let it drop and then pull your fingers together. So this looks like a bird's beak. It doesn't look like a puffy flower. It's a bird's beak. Okay. So you could actually poke somebody with it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, even though it isn't shown that way in the form, the actual application of this is that you're coming out and hitting somebody in the neck with this part.
Protection.
But when you show it in the form, it looks like this instead of like this. But if you were to actually strike somebody with it, you would use this part, which is why it's important that you bend your wrist down.
Yeah.
Can you see? Because you want to at least show that shape. Okay. So when you were here, you did your push, you stretched out your arms and flattened your hands. Then you shifted your weight back. So what happens is you're here. As you are shifting your weight back, you flatten your hands. Then as you turn your foot, you're going to pull. And when you get to the end, you release this foot and start pressing down. Then you make your ward off with the left, extend the right, and make your hook hand. And if you consider that your hook hand was originally meant to be a strike to somebody's neck, this is neck height. Okay, so you don't want it way up there. You want it fairly straight, not like this, but fairly straight like that. Okay, so let's just go up to there, and then we'll do the second part after we get this part more or less down. Okay, I'm going to do it a couple more times in this direction, then I'm going to turn around and do it in your direction. Okay, so here I'm at push. As I shift my weight back, I flatten my hands and extend my arms. Then, as I turn my foot, I pull and turn all the way around. When I get to the end, I shift back. So when I get to the end, what I do is I release the front foot and my hips can turn to that corner. And you'll feel a lot better when your hips turn to that corner. Okay, and you press down, then ward off with the left and hook hand with the right. Try that again. So you're at push.
Push.
And as you release your weight, you're going to move back, flatten your hands, straighten your arms. As you turn your foot, pull and turn all the way around. Then you're going to press. Okay, once you've pulled all the way around, release the front foot because your hips will be facing that corner. Okay, then you start pressing down. Ward off with the left, hook hand with the right. Now I'm going to do it in the direction that you would be doing it. So push. As I move my weight back, I flatten my hands and extend my arms. Then I pull and turn. Release the left foot. Press down. I'm at chest level. Ward off with the left. Hook hand with the right. How did that feel? Questions? So the hard part is coordinating your upper and lower. So make sure that when you are when you're releasing your weight from the front foot, you're extending your arms and flattening your hands. When you turn your foot, you're pulling all the way around. When you shift your weight back to the back foot, you release the front foot and your hips line up to the corner. Then ward off with the left, hook hand with the right. Yes? One more time in the direction you would be doing it. Here you go. Push. Shift back. Flatten your hands, straighten your arms. Turn and pull all the way around. Shift weight back, release the front foot, push down, ward off left, hook hand right. So when you're turning around,
yes,
it's the part that feels kind of wonky because you're here and your weight is still on the left foot, but it feels stable, but it's usually not that happy.
No.
So when you move your weight back, then you can release.
Yes.
And then your hip feels a lot happier.
Yes.
So the thing that happens here is when you turn, what happens is your shoulders get to the corner level, but your hands actually can go farther. Your hands can go farther than your torso. And so your hands actually go all the way to whatever that is, 9 o'clock. Then you press down and your fingers are facing each other.
Okay.
And it's in front of your chest. Then when they separate, you have this ward off and you have this hook hand.
Okay. Got it. I didn't see that before.
Okay, so I'll do it one more in this
Yes.
direction because you can see the hands in this direction. So here, okay, extend my arms, flatten my hands as my weight goes back. Then I turn and pull all the way around. Then as I come back, I'm pressing down. I release my front foot. Then ward off left, hook hand right. Okay.
Yes.
So now you have got the first half of this. Yes. Yes.
So is your hook hand directly out your side or is it slightly in front?
It is. It's at the corner.
Okay.
Okay. So your shoulders are at this corner and your hook hand is at this corner. So if in the direction you would be doing it, okay. So if I'm at push and I come around, okay, and I'm pressing down and I release the front foot. When I make my hook hand, it's to that corner. My hips are at that corner,
Yes.
90 degrees away from it. The reason your hips feel so much more comfortable going to that corner is it's in the same direction as your back foot.
Mhm.
Your hips feel best when they are in the direction of your plant foot.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's why I want you, as soon as you start moving back into your plant foot, I want you to release that front foot and, align you, make sure your hip alignment feels good. Okay. Does that make sense? Any more questions on that front? Are you ready to go on to the second half?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, let's do a couple more times and then we'll go on to the second half. In the direction that you would be doing it. We're pushing. We're moving weight back, straightening your arms, flattening your hands. Then we're turning our foot as we pull and turn. Then as we get all the way to the end, we start moving back. All the weight comes back, release the front foot. Your hips are toward that corner. Then ward off left, hook hand right.
Oh.
One more time.
Yes.
Push. Shift back. Straighten arms, flatten hands. Turn and pull all the way around. Then Release the front foot. Push down. Ward off left. Hook hand right.
Okay,
Pretty good, right?
yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you the rest of it.
Uh-oh.
And then in the direction that you would be doing it first. Okay. So you are at push. You're shifting weight back, straightening your arms, flattening your hands, turning and pulling, pressing down, releasing the front foot, ward off left, hook hand right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to stand the left as you release, stand the left ward off as you release the left foot. So you have standing ward off, step, deflect, strike.
Strike.
Okay.
You still keep the hook hand on
You
the right
still
when you
keep the hook
deflect.
hand.
Okay,
And the hook hand stays in the same place relative to your body.
oh, okay,
So you're not moving it any, wherever you set it, that's where it is.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
So if I do it in the direction facing you, okay, what'll happen is here, turn, press down, ward off, hook hand. I've released this front foot. Then I come up, step. So when I step, my standing ward off is diagonal to my body.
Ah,
Then I'm deflecting as my foot flattens, and I'm striking as I bend my knee. So in this other direction here, I am shifting weight back, straightening up my arms, flattening up my hands, turn and pull. Release the front foot, press down. Ward off left, hook hand right. Now all my weight is on the left. I mean on the right,
mhm.
okay? So that I can pick up my left. Then the hand that was ward off here stands up and steps. Then as I flatten my front foot, I deflect and then I strike. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's do that a few times and then I'll give you another little detail at the end. Okay,
oh, good.
so one more in this direction because I think you can see the hands best in
Yeah.
this direction. So push, shift back, straighten arms, flatten hands, turn and pull all the way around. Release the front foot, press down. Ward off left, hook hand right. Then standing ward off, step, meaning you contact with your heel. Deflect as you flatten your foot and strike. Now, when you go into your final stance, you are straight up and down. You are not lean forward, right? Remember when you were doing a push, you were lean forward. This one, you are straight up and down. And how do you get straight up and down? You open up your hips slightly. Instead of being lined up here, if you come up, you have to open your hip very slightly in order to get this vertical stance. And one of the reasons why I had you in the warm-ups do this head turning is that I want you to look through your tiger's mouth, not glancing with the side of with your head this way and your eyes facing that way. I want your nose to face that way. Okay? So you are looking through the tiger's mouth. And if I were in this position, it would look like this. Okay? So which direction do you think it would be the most helpful for you for me to do it?
With your right side to the camera.
With my
That's
right?
Yes.
With my right. So in the same direction as you.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm at push, right?
Yes.
Then as I shift my weight back, I extend my arms and flatten my hands. Turn and pull all the way to the side. Then release the front foot, press down, ward off left, hook hand right. Then all my weight is on the back foot.
Right.
So I can pick up my left foot, right?
Yes.
Standing ward off and step. Deflect as I flatten my foot. Bend knee as I strike. Okay?
Yes.
A few more times.
Yes.
Okay. Push. Here. Shift back. Extend arms, flatten hands. Turn and pull all the way to the other side. Release front foot as you press down. Ward off left, hook hand right. Standing ward off, step, deflect, strike. Just for funsies, I'm going to do it starting this way. So here, push. Then shift back, extend arms, flatten hands. Turn and pull. Flatten. Press down as you release the front foot. Ward off left, hook hand right. Standing ward off, step, deflect, strike. Now, one of the things I want you to be aware of, the reason I did it in this direction is that when you're here, I want to make sure that you have your shoulders width when you step out. Don't step here. Step here. Okay, because you will have much more stability if your shoulders width apart. Okay, so another little thing to think about, right? Yes, Laura.
Is your hand and arm position the same when you deflect, but your striking is because you're bending your knee and go forward? Or is your hand and arm actually?
So when I'm here, I'm deflect. I have my standing ward off, right?
Right.
But then when I'm deflecting, when I strike, it's going to be with this part of my hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm turning it so
Yes.
that this part is the contact point.
Yes.
Okay, so I have standing ward off when I step, and then here, I'm here, ward off. Standing ward off step. Deflect as I flatten my foot. Then strike as I bend knee. So strike is bend knee.
Strike is bend knee. Okay.
So
because you have no energy except through your feet, right? So the coordination is hand and foot, right? So that's why you want to do it that way. So let me do it one more time this way, just so that you see the hands better, okay? So if I am pushing and I'm shifting weight back, extending my arms, flattening my hands, turn and pull,
Mhm.
press down as I release my front foot, ward off left, hook hand right. Then all my weight is on the left, right? So I'm going to stand, step, deflect, strike.
Okay, it's beautiful.
It's really a nice move, but it does have a lot
Yes.
of pieces to it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, questions?
Question.
Yes.
I forget to breathe because of all those little pieces that I'm concentrating on. Can
Oh,
you?
no. No, you should definitely breathe. And this is a difficult move for that reason also, because in grasp the bird's tail, it's easy to figure out where to breathe. Okay.
I
So
know.
when you're doing grasp the bird's tail, okay, when you're doing this, exhale. Exhale.
Oh, okay.
Exhale. 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 Right? But
So
this one is hard because if you held your breath all the way to the end,
that's right.
you would be in trouble. So you just have to breathe naturally. Whenever you need to take a breath, breathe.
So Rita, just a reminder that the whip is not part of grasping the bird's tail, correct?
It is not.
The push
It
was
is
the
a-
last of it.
Grasp the bird's tail ends with push.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Okay. This is the first move outside of grasp the bird's tail. So, and it is more complicated because most of grasp the bird's tail, you really don't have footwork. Once you get into right ward off, your feet don't move. Your body moves, but your feet don't move. This one, everything moves. So let's do it a couple of more times before we close class, okay?
Yes.
And I'm going to do it in the direction that you're doing it.
Great.
Okay. So right foot forward, bow stance. Push. We're going to move our weight back, extend our arms, flatten our hands. Turn and pull. Then come back, release the front foot, press down, ward off left, hook hand right. Then standing ward off, step, deflect, strike. Okay, don't forget, you have to be straight up and down, and you are looking through your tiger's mouth. This is your tiger's mouth. Okay. One more time.
Yes.
Push. As you release your weight, extend your arms, flatten your hands. Turn and pull. Press down, release the front foot. Ward off left, hook hand right. Standing ward off, step, deflect, strike. Any questions? Any parts that I didn't explain well enough?
Rita,
Yes.
can you show when you're deflecting and what you said you could put your right foot at the end, if you could only make 90 degrees?
Yes.
Can
You
see?
could? Okay, so if I'm doing it in the direction so you can see better. Okay, so what happens is here, if I'm pushing
Yeah.
and then I'm coming back and I'm turning this foot
Mhm.
and I can only turn this far. I
Mhm.
can't turn all the way here. I can only turn this far. And so I just keep going. But then as I as I step and deflect, then I start moving, or you can move it at the end. So you step and deflect, you're here, you step and deflect, and then move your weight and move it at the end.
Oh, okay. Like it.
So you could do that.
Okay.
So for a lot of people, they like that because they don't have to think about anything
Right.
and you just add it on to the end. All kinds of choices, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions? No? Okay, let's do it one time from the beginning
Okay.
and then we'll close class. How about that?
Yes.
I'm going to turn around. Feet shoulders width apart. Prepare. So you have your head up, tailbone down, hands by your side. Opening. Rotate your arms, palms back. Come up to shoulder level, press down, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left, shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift weight, turn and separate. Ward off right, shift right, turn the left foot to the corner, pull left ward off, down right, come in, step and close, separate and shift weight. Roll back. Rotate your arms as you reach to the corner. Turn your waist to the other corner as your weight moves back. Press, pull in the right, attach the left, expand forward. Push, square up your shoulders, flatten your hands. Come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, push up to shoulder level. Single width. Shift weight back as you straighten your arms and flatten your hands. Turn and pull all the way around. Release the front foot as you press down. Ward off left, hook hand right, standing ward off, step, deflect, strike. How's that?
Good.
Okay. So I hope that move worked out well for you. And practice. I will see you next week. Thank you very much for coming to class. 同学们再见.
Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome.
You.
Thanks, Rita.
Thank you.
You're welcome.